What guy were you on the commercials?
Usually just the goofy retard.
What, who can't figure out fabric softener, or who really likes wings?
That's
Like,
every guy in every commercial. Every man is made to look like a fucking idiot.
it's so I can't understand that, especially when like it pisses me off as a man, but also like as a potential customer. I'm like, why do you always make your customers look like fucking idiots?
Yeah.
I just don't understand why companies.
Especially all the products that are geared towards women, you know.
Yeah.
It's,
Although
it's crazy.
us guys are. What is Dr. Pepper doing with the Dr. Pepper 10? Could they stop already?
What
Have you
is that
seen that?
for?
Like, fuck you, chicks! You can't drink this soda. Is that supposed to embolden me as a man
They really
to want
are
to drink?
targeting men with that.
Yeah,
It's like Coke Zero, but it's
They literally say
Dr.
like,
Pepper.
women, this drink isn't for you. That was like one of their big commercials of like, sorry, no chicks allowed. This is a dude's beverage, and it was like guys shooting machine guns, and I'm like, who's
Why
the
the
woman out there that's gonna go like, challenge accepted? I'll show you. I can drink this Dr. Pepper 10. Like,
and no dude wants to drink that shit either.
exactly.
I had fun with that commercial. Like, I actually bought it, and this girl I was dating at the time, every time I was like, you're not allowed to touch it and stuff. And the second she did have it, I smacked the can out of her hand. But it fucking totally exploded everywhere, so it was stupid.
And then it would escalate. Then he would strike her with a full can, which
Right,
really
yeah.
started leaving marks.
Yeah.
And that's where the story takes a turn, Brian. We really need to talk about that. It's not.
Pepper too.
But it makes for a great vine.
Speaking of the Tab episode of Sarah Silverman's show,
Oh my God, yeah.
did we talk about Sarah Silverman here, or was that before the show?
No, we brought up that you.
Okay,
that was a thing. Yeah.
Jesus, sometimes
You haven't had
I
your tab in a
smoke too
while.
much
You gotta
pot.
get your caffeine levels right.
All of a sudden, I was like, "Wait, was that before we started recording that we were talking about that?"
Are we ready to go live, Brian? Let's go.
Okay,
Start
here
it
we go.
and play the intro.
And go.
All right.
It was originally not Tab in the script. It was Diet Dr. Pepper. Really? And they approached Dr. Pepper, and they're like, "Fuck no, you can't use our soda in your episode."
Fuck you and your free publicity and your amazing advertising that people are going to talk about for years to come.
Yeah.
Did they even see the script? Like the product wasn't the like.
I think that's why they saw the script and thought
Oh,
we were
because
making
Dr.
fun
Pepper
of
hates
it.
gays. Is that what we're finding out? Not only do they
Who
hate
knows?
women, but they clearly
Who
hate the
knows?
gays.
Maybe.
God. Were there any Dr. Pepper reps at your rock shows? Because I bet they're anti-Semitic too. I bet they hate the Jews and love really fast
They
bass
were
music.
moshing their asses off.
You heard it here first, by the way. This podcast brought to you by anybody but Dr. Pepper at this point.
By the way, always hit the girl in the back of the head with your Dr. Pepper 10 so you can't
Always.
see the bruises.
The hair covers it. It's really nice.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
good
and
to
then
know.
no, Your Honor, that's a bump it. That's
Yeah.
not a bruise. That's not brain swelling. That's a Hollywood bump it.
That's
She
good to
loves the
know.
big hair. When you guys changed it to Tab, were they on board? Did they pay you, or did they just say, you could use it? I mean, the show.
I don't know how any of that works.
I hope that they got a giant check for that, because that was the most brilliant advertising I'd seen in ages.
I didn't find out that story until we were like halfway through the episode.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, oh, it seems better as Tab anyway.
Way better, yeah.
I can't picture Diet Dr. Pepper. Fuck that.
Did they send you pink tracksuits, or did they give you like
There
a case of
was-
Tab, or?
Fucking Tab everywhere. And that's one of the first episodes, I think, or maybe it was like halfway through the season, but there was fucking Tab on set for the whole rest of the season. Like, it was fucking everywhere. There were cases of it everywhere.
I love it. We got a Tab guy. Make it Tab run.
And I offered to buy the Tab car.
Did
Like,
you?
There was a car that we had, put Tab decals
Yeah.
and we painted it pink. I was like, I'll buy that car, and it was a rental that they had painted, and they had to give it back.
Bummer.
But looking back now, I'm like, that would have been weird.
That would be really weird.
For me to be driving something from a show.
That would have been
I was-
entirely appropriate and amazing. When you said you were writing for Kimmel at the time that you went out for that pilot, right? For
Well, I didn't even have to go out for it. She just wrote
She
it
wrote
for
the
me.
part
But
for
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Was that the first sort of TV scripted kind of gig of that nature?
Yeah.
Was it pure commercials before then, other than maybe sketches here and there?
It was all commercials before then, and I remember while I was at Groundlings, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This episode,
For those who are listening to the audio only, the Tab episode is on the old screen right now.
he's showing a clip of Brian and I smoking pot, medical marijuana in the Tab car. And when we shot this scene, it was about 105 degrees outside. It was summer, and I had strep throat. So I had 102 fever. It's sitting in a car that was probably with all the lights on, closer to 115 degrees.
Yeah, that's a microwave
And
right
we're
there.
trying
That's a
to
tin
act,
can.
like happy and stoned.
Were you really smoking?
No, oh my God, that's amazing. Because most people go with the patented bullshit answer of like, no, it was an ecstasy cigarette.
Well, you
It
never
was
see
herb.
us smoking on screen. Comedy Central wouldn't allow that.
But you definitely see smoke coming from your nose and/or mouth hole
But-
in a couple takes.
There, I'm not saying that we were never in the trailers before scenes doing it, because there's a lot of scenes of Brian and I just high on the couch, and it's
Right.
like, why not get high and sit on the couch?
Yeah,
and do this?
let's be method right now, right
Yeah.
here.
What was I saying before that?
We're talking about this being the first sort of scripted.
Oh yeah, it was all, I was taking classes at Groundlings, and one of my teachers hooked me up with my first job working in TV, which was reality TV. And it was working on Road Rules.
What
And
did you
I
do
stayed
on
at
Road
Road
Rules?
Rules and Real World for years.
Did
I
you
didn't
work
know
with
there was a-
Christina Pazitsky when she was on there? Tom Segura, I don't know if you know him, a comedian, comic, his
I know
wife,
him.
blonde hair girl.
Oh yeah.
Christina Pazitsky.
She was Real World or Road Rules Australia.
Yeah.
That was the season I started. I was logged.
How many years into the Road Rules thing was that, you think? Like,
That was maybe the first year of Road Rules.
Oh, really?
Or no, it was like the second. Or
Okay.
third.
And
Okay.
she pretty much slept with everyone, probably, right?
No,
Because
no,
she's
she
a-
was pretty good. She was cool. She was my favorite cast member, by the way.
She's cool.
She was really cool, and it was my job when I started doing all this stuff. I was what they call a logger, where you watch
my
all the
God.
videotapes from the road, and you have to watch them and
do you transcribe
log
right?
Yeah,
Like,
log the information onto the computers for the writers.
1 hour, 25 minutes, 15 frames. Clara clearly getting her 1 hour, 24 minutes,
Yep.
17. Clara giving it to everybody else in the
8
night.
hours a day of that.
Oh my God.
And I went from that, I did Road Rules Australia, Road Rules Mexico, then I went to Real World Seattle, Real World Hawaii, and then I quit and got a job basically doing the same thing at the Osbournes. And
Oh, okay. So within the MTV family and transcribing, what did you put for Ozzy? Did you just mash your forehead
Ozzy
against the
was
keyboard?
the worst one because that was when he was really on the pills
Yeah.
and like you couldn't understand him more so than ever. And
You could put socks on a cat and let it run over a typewriter, and you'd end up with the same words that Ozzy was speaking.
my job was to transcribe the interviews. Like I wasn't even logging; I was just transcribing what they were saying.
Would someone come up to you and go like, at 15 minutes you wrote, what
it
is
was
that?
a lot of Sharon, undecipherable. Like a lot of just undecipherable.
Like a redacted FBI document.
Sharon, I'm going to go in the biopsy.
Oh my God. So, and what?
Fucking
And some
horrifying.
people are hearing this and don't realize that the 14 minutes that they saw Ozzy per episode or on average
I
was
saw
hours
hours.
and hours and hours that you had to fucking wade through and transcribe.
Because there's like at least five camera guys there shooting. So you have 5 cameras shooting for 10 hours. That's so you multiply that by 5.
Did you have to sign crazy agreements that say you won't talk about what you saw that didn't make the cut?
Yeah.
And have those expired yet?
Non-disclosure.
Those must have
agreements.
been
Yeah.
5-year
I think they're
agreements.
5-year.
Yeah, they're
agreements.
5. So what do you got?
I got nothing.
Damn it! I was hoping there was a.
Pedro's blood would be on every single couch, so we always.
That was before my time.
Yeah, the Pedro days. Remember when that was? Remember when reality TV was real? Do you watch any of it these days? What are you into?
I don't watch reality TV.
No.
I saw Puck the other day in Hollywood, just fucking walking the street. I
No
think he was
shit.
homeless.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you give him a buck?
No, I just looked at him.
I think he probably had the toughest,
I was talking about the
life
bow.
after.
I think so.
after
He
the
was
show.
he was Snooki
arrested.
before Snooki. It was a little too rough. He burnt too bright.
Yeah.
That was his problem. He just burned a little
He
too
didn't
bright.
Fade out.
Nope.
He
There were
burned
just
out
there were just feathers and wax in his living room when he was done. Icarus got a little too close.
too close to the sun.
to that sun, poor Puck. But what do you watch these days if you're not into the reality obsession?
Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, probably my favorite show. In a decade, easily.
Still strong?
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you not watch it?
I watched the first season, loved it, but was in a relationship where my girlfriend at the time said it gave her too much anxiety and she couldn't watch it. And we were really trying to rally around watching the same shows, to, kill an hour a night.
I have a hard time watching shows where the characters make me anxious and uncomfortable, but for some reason that one doesn't.
That one does
do
it?
it.
That's weird
to
because
me.
that's why I don't watch it. Same reason. It
Oh,
just
really?
makes me stressed out. Like I start like gnawing at my foot and stuff like that. It's
Is that
scary.
because the meth
But
is the meth
shows
use is
like-
comforting to you? Is that the part
I did.
that like?
I did a lot of meth in high school.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah.
Out in Riverside?
Well, no, I got sent to military school.
Oh, what did you? Were you got sent there because you were doing meth, or you got sent there to do?
No,
meth?
no, I didn't start doing meth till I went to military school.
No shit. What's
Because I was a heavy drinker when I was in high school, like my first few years of high school, and my grades were slipping. I was, getting drunk in school. It was very regularly. I would, on my way to school, go to 7-Eleven, get a big gulp, fill it only halfway with like Coke, and then the rest with rum.
Oh,
And I would just start drinking first period.
That's power drink.
So by lunch, I would fucking annihilate it.
Were you solo in that endeavor, or did you have like a
Pretty
posse of
much.
friends? Okay, so you were
I
the
had
only one with the
some
captain leg up on the stool at lunch.
I had friends that would drink, but not as much as me. And it started with some seniors when I was, I think, freshman, getting me drunk, and I was like, "This is fucking awesome!"
Right.
I remember the first time I drank, like they went and paid like a homeless guy to buy us Boone's Farm strawberries.
Oh my god.
And we each drank a whole bottle, and I was so nervous. I was like, "Am I gonna throw up?" Because I hate throwing up. I'm like, "Am I gonna throw up?" They're like, "Just shut up and fucking drink it." And I remember going, "Oh, my face is so warm. This is amazing." And then I think we went and watched some Eddie Murphy movie, maybe 48 Hours or something. And I was just fucking laughing the whole time. And I was like, I'm gonna drink all the time.
This
I
is
feel
it.
amazing.
This is it. I just found the rest of my life each and every day. Here's the answer.
I wasn't afraid of talking to girls. I was like, this is the fucking best shit in the world.
Right.
And then I got sent to military school because I was just out of control. And
So
then
where was military school?
Valley Forge, Pennsylvania.
When I hear military school, I think of
TAPS.
I think of TAPS.
That's the school I went to
The same school.
where they shot TAPS.
So is it white gloves and dudes with guns that have bayonets and they're screaming at you and like running fingers along desks and
Yep.
no shit.
Oh yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. It's everything you
now okay.
perceive it to be.
I gotta. So when you're getting sent there, when you're on the plane or you're on the Greyhound or whatever you were taken to get
Plane,
there.
yeah.
Okay, so you're shackled in my head. You're shackled back of the plane with everybody else.
basically-
And are you like, fucking whatever, man, I got this, or are you pissed off and scared?
Oh,
like,
shit. For those only listening, that's the school I went to. I was doing parades like that.
that's
During an earthquake.
Amazing.
Yeah, just Google or YouTube Valley Forge Military Academy. For those of you who are only listening.
This looks like a homecoming celebration at my high school. But this is just pretty much every day at yours.
I would totally do meth.
This
if
was
I had to.
every Sunday.
Well, that's what I want to get to. I want to get to clearly if you're at a place like that, you're going to try to escape any way you can, even if it's your own brain and
Well-
veins. But so on the way there, were you like, I'm tougher than this, fuck this shit? Were you scared? Were you
Terrified.
really?
I was going to a school where I didn't know anybody.
Right. You didn't know if there'd be Boone's Farm either.
And well, that's the thing. That's the thing with the drug use is you have daily inspections in your room. You don't have closets and shit. You have open face closets where you just all
Hang
your shit
clothes
is
and that's it.
visible.
Like,
Yeah. And so you can't hide alcohol, but you can fucking hide drugs, like in your shoes, in socks and stuff.
Right.
So
Mule it
So,
to recess.
yeah.
It happens. It happens. It's all right.
no, that never happened. Thank God. It didn't get that bad, but
So you're on your way there by plane, shaking. You know you're gonna land and not fucking know anybody. I'm sure people have told you how scary and serious and
Yeah.
how crazy this school is gonna be, right? They probably pumped your head full
no,
of that.
I didn't know. I only knew what I'd seen in TAPS, which I was like, it can't be like TAPS because those kids wanted to be there. They took over the school when it was threatened to be shut down. Where in real life, we
Yeah.
would have been like, we'll help you pack. We don't fucking want to be here. And so I didn't have any idea what it would be like, when I was 16 or 17 when I got sent there, all I knew of military school was it was always a threat in teen movies. Like, you don't shape up, we're sending you to Bill and Ted, we're sending you
Right.
to military school.
Oh man, Wild Steins are gonna be ruined.
and they never got sent to military school. Like,
Right.
you never actually saw it.
Right.
And it was way worse than I could.
Really? Did day one, are they screaming in your face and make you buzz your hair, or how does
Yeah.
that? Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking like almost facetiously, and you're like, yeah, that's how the fuck they do
Anything
it.
you come up with in, watching Stripes or shit where people go into
Right.
the army, Full Metal Jacket. It's shit like that. People yelling at you and
And so
well, the speed. It wasn't a huge problem with me, but I was using it because we would have to get up at like 5:30 in the morning, go run like 3 or 4 miles, do calisthenics, then come back and like clean the barracks, then shower and get ready for school. You go eat breakfast, and then you go to fucking school all day. Like you were fucking exhausted.
right, you're used to grabbing the big gulp
Oh my god, it was
and mixing versus getting up and doing the calisthenics and then hitting the books.
I was used to, sleeping till about 7:30, waking up and rushing to high
And
school.
would your bunkmate massage you awake? If
That's
you
what you're laughing at.
if you search for Steve Agee, a bunk buddy, you'll see.
What is this shit? What did you
This is
search
Kevin
for?
Rose used to be your
Yeah.
bunkmate, and he's
So I mean, listen, it's
horrifying.
It's kind of like one of those things. Like no one judges when you're in prison, and no one judges when you're in military school. But I mean, how many dudes, did you fuck like on a weekly basis? Did they lick the back of your shoulders? Like
I
did
am
they
gonna
kiss
puke.
down your spine?
This is so.
Again, I'll
wanna know
reiterate.
what
If you
you
only get the
Google
audio
search.
version of this podcast, you are missing out
gay
on a
military
whole lot of
porn.
gay military porn.
Kevin Rose just tweeted this.
all right.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
No. So.
But
so,
what parents don't know when they send their kids to military school is they're sending their kid to a school with 1,000 of the biggest, best fuck ups in the country.
Right.
Like the
These are the
all-stars.
professionals. These are the
These
ones
are the
who couldn't
all-stars.
get it together for the third act of the movie. These are the guys. It's the
fucking-
ragtag group.
This is 1,000 Bill Murrays in stripes, like just going apeshit.
Did you guys like get like close knit? Like, did you get each other's backs, or were
Band
there
of brothers, man.
Really? It was like, fuck, we're in this miserable place together. Let's figure it
Looking
out.
back on it, it's like, oh man, I actually had some really fucking amazing good times there.
Right.
While you're miserable, because you're kind of forced to bond with people who are also as miserable as you. But when you're a teenager living through it, you're like, this is the fucking worst. I actually sold a pilot last year based on.
Based on going to
pitched
private
that
school?
I pitched that story, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll buy it to FX," and then we wrote it, and FX passed on it.
Motherfuckers.
This is a video of me masturbating.
Oh, I thought this was the pilot.
What is it? No,
This is your-
That's the entire pilot.
this is me masturbating.
So let's talk about your creative
that
process,
got me
Steve.
a job. That got me a job on Sarah Silverman's show.
That's the one that did it.
They asked Sarah wanted me to do the pilot. She told Comedy Central I wrote these parts for Steve Agee and Brian Posehn, and they were like, "Who's Steve Agee?" And she's like, "He's a friend of mine. He's really funny, and he would be perfect with Brian for this part." And they're like, "We don't know who he is. He has to audition." She's like, "No, he doesn't have to audition." And they're like, "Well, we have to see video."
and
so
she
Sarah
you
said-
masturbating with us.
Sarah said, "Put together a tape of all your weirdo, creepy short films and send it to Comedy Central." And this, I believe, this is one of the things that I used to do.
How generous is that black box?
But I did a whole series. I would